Hello from Farland. Today we're going to do something a little bit different than we've done before. We're going to have an opening. We're going to open up this new locomotive. I purchased it while I was over in the UK, but it didn't arrive until sometime after I had returned. Maybe I can move that light a little bit. DCC sound, class 25, Bachmann. (32-330DS) class 25/1 diesel, running number D5183 in BR green. DCC sound. It's a pretty good bargain too. I don't know if you can see that or not. 161 pounds. I saw that on display and thought, that looks like a pretty good deal. So I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but following the modernization plan, the 25s were introduced into service in 1961. They were a successor to the 24s, class 24s, 3 years earlier it says. And there were a lot of them made. There were 325 class 25s made, most at Derby, but some were constructed at Crewe and Darlington, with a further 26 built by Bayer Peacock of Manchester. There were so many that I understand they referred to them as rats, because they were everywhere. I won't read the rest. You can read it if you want to. Comes with some paperwork. A nice blown up view of separated pieces and a list of spare parts, handy to have. Shows how the buffer beam parts go together. Sometimes you get a model with a bunch of little parts and you have no idea where they go. But in this case, they tell you. That's nice. Let's see what this is. Consumer guarantee, 12 months. Nice. And then instructions how to care for your locomotive. Very nice. And a helpline to boot. A list of the configuration variables. Pretty handy, but the locomotive, when I put it in the software, will actually tell me what they are. And then some specifications, current carrying capacity. Motor puts out 1.1 amps. Doesn't say what it takes in. Probably pretty close to that. I don't know what the efficiency is. I expect it's around 85%. And then the sound functions, which I'll have to put into my software so it does the right thing when I press the button and it's labeled correctly. I can do that later. Sorry about bumping you there. And down in the bottom of the box, what's this? Oh, Collectors Club. I can join their exclusive Collectors Club if I want to, by filling that in. Probably will. Sounds like a plan. Okay, back to the locomotive. Oops. Back to the locomotive. I've done this before, so I'm a little clumsy. What we got here? Looks like we have a blanking plug and some very small parts on the sprue. A couple of sprues. Okay, well, maybe we'll put some of those on. Usually I don't, because I'm always worried about losing them. And there this beauty is. Get that out of the frame. Still out of the frame with it. Oh, that is a beauty. It's got some gauges on it. Those are pretty awesome. One's probably water for the steam heating, coach heating, and the other one's probably fuel, would be my guess. Don't really know, maybe somebody else knows. Well, you can't really read that, but I did read it with a magnifying glass earlier, and the best I could make out was British Railways Darlington built. There's more text there, but my camera's not good enough to read it. I do know from studying these that these are horns on the sides of the head code. They don't look like horns, but that's what was there. Could be there was a plate in front to keep stuff out of the horn throat. Nicely detailed. Little handles on there. Separately fitted, I presume. I doubt that they were in the original mold. Very nicely detailed. Beautiful work. It must have had a door, a passageway. Usually those got taken off, welded shut because they made the cab drafty, but that one still has it on there. Door doesn't open. Hornby doors open, I guess Bachmann don't. And we have apparently, yeah, we got the gauges on the tanks on both sides. Appears as though it might have been two different tanks, but it's kind of hard to know. Underneath is not necessarily molded accurately. All in all, I would say it's an absolutely gorgeous little model. I'm looking forward to running it. I also did a little research. I have a favorite book here that I like to use. Mainline diesel locomotives. I like the diesels a little bit better than the steam engines. I do like the steam engines, but I like the diesels a little bit better. So looking in here, there's additional information. Find the right page. Introduced 55, 61, 61 for the 25, 58 for the 24. Sulzer 6LDA28A, 6-cylinder I believe that is. It's a fairly lightweight locomotive, but the model is quite heavy. not quite as heavy as it would be if it was a longer one, but it's still reasonably heavy. That's very interesting information there. Here's a picture of a 24. It's pretty similar except for the head codes on the 25 and the horns up on the top. Otherwise, they look very similar. I think the 24s use disc codes as head codes. Then there's another picture over here that on the top there's a picture of them running double, pulling a pretty long passenger train. Down below, here's a single pulling 3 coaches, and it's running backwards, and the brake coach is in the front, so it must have gone somewhere, pulled that out there, and then switched ends and is pulling it back, would be my guess. Well, I'll take the locomotive and assign an address and get it set up to run, and we'll go take a look. It truly has a most pleasing sound.